have notches of different culture to me. So when I actually got exposed to a lot of cultures, I could see that there were differences in almost all the cultures. The difference starting from the birth of the child. Few people believed that the child should be born at the maternal home, and the other culture believed the child to be born at the paternal home. But what was the difference between both of those things? The difference existed, but when you unsheathed the gist of it, it carried a message that everyone was concerned about the health of the child as well as the mother, irrespective of the fact, whatever culture you come from. I am someone who was born to a traditional Rajasthani family. My family is based in Delhi. So my birth was in Jodhpur. From then, I was taken as a neonate to Delhi, and I was brought up in Delhi for 17 years of my life. For almost a decade, I was there in Karnataka, that is South India. Then got married to a Gujarati family, and it's been almost 6 years I have been staying with a Gujarati family. This probably gave me an idea about unsheathing a lot of hidden morals which are there in our Indian culture as well. To understand this topic, catching hold of the sheathed edge, I would like to quote one of the most exhilarating examples of our childhood. I'm sure all of us know about this. The story of the hare and tortoise. The hare, being the perkier and the faster one, always knew it could achieve things fast. The tortoise, being the slow and the steady one, did he not know that his speed was not fast enough to actually get onto a competition with a hare? Or he had actually never seen a hare running? Or probably a witch came from somewhere and did a spell on the tortoise. Oh, you will be a moron from today. And he actually agreed to have a competition or a race against the hare, whom he has seen to be probably almost 10 times faster than himself. And they had a race. And after the race, what happened? All of us know about it. Certainly, being the steadier one, the tortoise won. And being, although the faster one, still someone who is reluctant and who feels lazy at one particular time, lost the competition. After knowing this story, I would like to know almost everyone in this house, how many of us actually went to a jungle to find a pair of a tortoise and a hare who are trying to race against each other? Did anyone do that? Or if you do not find it in this jungle, let me go to the other jungle and I will find and I will try my level best to actually get a pair of a hare and tortoise who are actually trying to compete each other. And if I do not find that, I would come to a conclusion and negate the facts that the story was fictitious. The story never had any significance. It was a bullshit thing, a thing which was told to me by my parents for no reason. None of us do that, because we give the benefit of doubt to our parents, our teachers and our guardians, that even if the story existed or it was fictitious, that does not carry a weightage. What carries more weight is that it was told to us for a moral behind it. So the moral that slow and steady wins the race is something which carried more importance to us. So if we can give that benefit of doubt to our parents, our teachers or guardians or whosoever told you that story, who physically existed in front of your life, why can't you give that benefit of doubt to your ancestors who would have written the religious books? Probably the books were written with a moral behind them. Whether you are on the left hand side of the hall or you are on the right hand side of the hall, there is a middle path which carries more importance. That is the moral. You believe it or not, that is irrespective of the fact. But you have to believe the moral which was actually given behind it. The moral which actually formed the gist of it. Now, because my understanding is a little bit about the Hindu culture, so I will be quoting few examples of that. But at the same time, I would like to raise the point that all these religious books, which you can probably see here, starting from the Holy Quran, the Holy Bible, your Guru Granth Sahib and the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, all those were written behind a moral. So irrespective of whatever religion you believe in, please go back, extract the morals from those books and try to learn that. I would start with the most famous example of the ancient era, which divided our world into 4 parts. That is Satyug, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga and Kal Yuga. Kal Yuga being the later half. Now, if you see the war and the rivalry between Satyug, the war of Satyug was between 2 different continents. One continent occupied or conquered by angels and the other continent conquered by the demons. And a sea segregating both of those. When you go on to your Treta Yuga, the area of rivalry started constricting. Now the war was from Ram from India and Ravana from Sri Lanka. That is, it was between 2 countries. As in how you proceed towards the beginning of Dwapar Yuga, the rivalry here existed between Krishna and Kans, 2 people who were related to each other, Kans being the uncle of Krishna. So the rivalry area started constricting even more. As in how you come towards the end of Dwapar Yuga, now the rivalry existed between 2 brothers, Pandavas and Kauravas. So what probably our ancestors were trying to teach us or to tell us was that in Kal Yuga, the area is going to constrict even more. Now, the rivalry will be of you with yourself. Coming on to this point, how can I kill myself? Is it possible? Is it possible anyhow? Again, that reference was given to us in our Indian culture itself, wherein this person, life of a person was compared to the life of a deer. There is a statement called as Mrig Trishna, if all of us have heard. Mrig means deer, Trishna means the thirst. All his life, a deer is running. We know the deer for its speed. We know the deer for its chase. But what is it running for? The deer, all his life, is able to smell the fragrance of something which he is trying to achieve, which he is trying to get, and that is his chase throughout his life. And do you know what is that? That is nothing but deer musk, also known as kasturi in Hindi. And that deer musk is lying nowhere else but in the stomach of the deer itself. And the deer realizes it the time when he is killed and he is cut open. So that is what we are doing these days to ourselves. We are running behind motives because we are not satisfied. If you are having a vacation in Manali, you want to have a vacation in Switzerland. If you are having the affordability to have a vacation in Switzerland, you want to own a chopper. If you have a chopper, I want an aircraft for myself. We are never ending. We are stressing ourselves by our own needs, by our own desires. So that is one factor by which we have actually tried to kill ourselves. We are browsing the whole day. We have a phone in our hand. We are browsing, we are opening a particular app, we are browsing the whole day through videos in Facebook. We are trying to search something to achieve a level of satisfaction without any aim, without anything. We are searching for something which probably can give us the contentment for the day. That okay, aaj ye acha dekha maine. So all these factors, you are actually stressing yourself out. So after we have realized that probably what our ancestors were teaching us, so did they actually try to teach us how to handle life in a more appropriate way? Yes, they did. The festival of kites, also known as Makar Sankranti in northern India and Uttarayan in this part of the country. When you talk about this festival of kites, the life of the kite in flight can be compared to the life of a human being. When I say this, the initial phase, if you see, of the kite, you need effort and you need help from your loved ones. You need a friend to hold the kite for you. The initial phase when you're trying to soar the kite high is going to be tough. You try to take the kite high and it falls down. You try to soar it high again, it falls down. So the initial tough in your life to achieve a particular level is again going to be tough for you as well. And once it starts soaring high, understand that the length of your string has extended a lot. And the number of enemies you have is almost proportional to the length of the string you have. That is almost proportional to the level your kite has reached or the level of height you have achieved in your life. Be prepared for that. There will be competition which will be cutthroat. In that, there will be few strings which will be stronger than you. There will be few strings which will be stronger than your string. What to do there? What do you do when you encounter a kite which is having a stronger string than you? We just let it loose. Because we know it very well that if I try too hard, I am going to cut my own kite here. So we let it loose. That's exactly what you have to do in your life as well. Accept the lows. It is not important to be on top of everything every time and try too hard and stress yourself out. You can accept that there can be other people who are above me. And let it be. And again, when you let your string loose, understand your kite gets onto a lower level than what it was achieving earlier. So do not compare yourself again. Accept it. You will not always have the top-notch position in life. Accept the lows in life. To this, another contradiction comes as we have been taught to be a fighter all our life. So when you say fighting, it does not mean that you fight and you get defeated. When you fight, you have to win it. So for that, you have to accept the lows in life. You can take a break. You can take a chill pill for some time. You can just feel relaxed about it. You can just accept the lows in life. And then when the circumstances come, when there are less kites in the sky and when there are favorable condition, you can soar your kite high again. You will always stand that option, depending on if your kite is still there in the flight. If it is not, you can't. Again, to compare that, there's another example which is given in our Indian culture as Krishna being called as Ranchod. Whenever Krishna would encounter a situation in the war that he is about to lose the war, what he would do? He would just run away, go to a particular province, gather more army, come back, fight and win. So if he, being the God, can run away from situations, can just let loose, can just accept the lows in life, why can't you, being human beings, can? We all can. Because finally, what matters is you have to win this race. You have to stay in the sky for a longer time, even if on the middle or the stratosphere position, but you have to stay. Because finally, the history is always written by winners. It is never written by losers. To quote this, I would like to give an idea which is quite thought-provoking. Knowing about Kauravas and Pandavas, a lot of us know Kauravas were known to be led by Duryodhan and Dushasan. Duryodhan. That means Dur meaning bad, Yodhan means plans. Duryodhan means someone who makes bad plans. Dushasan. Dur, bad. Shasan means rule. That means Duryodhan means someone who makes bad plans. Dushasan means someone who does a bad rule. Now I would like to ask this question to almost everyone in this house. Which one of you would actually name your son as someone who does a bad rule or someone who makes bad plans? I'm sure no one would. Probably their real names were Suyodhan and Sushasan. So if the modification of history can happen at that particular level, we really need to go back to our books to unsheath a lot of hidden morals which are given behind and which our ancestors were trying to give us.